Welcome back to Footnotes and Folly, and to the end of King John. I am Pemberton. This is part 3, and the long unravelling comes due. John has himself crowned a second time to steady his shaken throne, but his own lords recoil from him at the rumour that little Arthur has been murdered, and they will not be reconciled even when Hubert swears the boy is alive. For Arthur, in a desperate bid to escape, has leapt from the castle wall and been dashed to death on the stones, and the lords go over to the invading French. Cornered, John kneels to Rome and hands his crown to the cardinal to buy off the war, only to learn the Pope can no longer call the Dauphin off. A dying French lord warns the English traitors that their new allies mean to behead them, and they come creeping home. The French fleet is wrecked on the sands, and a monk at Swinstead Abbey puts poison in the king's cup. Let us finish it.
King John enters crowned, with Pembroke, Salisbury, and other lords. The king takes his throne. Here we sit once again, crowned once again, and looked on, I hope, with cheerful eyes. This once again, if your highness will pardon me, was unnecessary once before. You were already crowned, and that high royalty was never taken from you. Men's loyalty had never been stained by rebellion, and no fresh expectation troubled the land with longing for change or for some better state. So to dress a title already rich in a second pomp, to gild refined gold, to paint the lily, to throw perfume on the violet, to smooth the ice, to add another color to the rainbow, or to hold up a candle to decorate the beautiful eye of heaven, is wasteful and ridiculous excess. Except that your royal pleasure had to be carried out, this act is like an old tale told again, and made tiresome by the last repetition, especially when pressed at such an unseasonable time. In this, the old and familiar face of plain custom has been badly disfigured. Like a shifting wind striking a sail, it turns men's thoughts around, startles and frightens judgment, makes sound opinion sick, and makes truth suspected, because it has been dressed in so new a fashion. When workmen try to do better than well, they spoil their skill through over-eagerness. Often the excuse for a fault makes the fault worse. Patches put over a small tear discredit the thing more by trying to hide the fault than the fault did before it was patched. To this effect, before you were newly crowned, we gave our counsel, but it pleased your highness to overrule it, and we are all content, since every part of what we wished must stop at what your highness wills. I have given you some reasons for this double coronation, and I think them strong. Later, when my fear is less, I will give you more and stronger ones. For now, ask what you would have reformed that is not right, and you shall clearly see how willingly I will both hear and grant your requests. Then I, as the spokesman for all these men, speaking the purposes of all their hearts, both for myself and them, but chiefly for your safety, to which we all devote our best care, earnestly request Arthur's release. His imprisonment moves the murmuring lips of discontent to break into this dangerous argument. If what you peacefully hold, you hold by right, then why should your fears, which people say follow the steps of wrongdoing, make you shut up your young kinsman, choke his days with cruel ignorance, and deny his youth the rich benefit of proper exercise? So that the enemies of the time may not use this to strengthen their occasions, let our petition be that you have invited us to ask for his liberty. For our own good, we ask no further than this. Since our welfare depends on you, we count it your welfare that he have his liberty. Let it be so. I commit his youth to your direction. Hubert enters. Hubert, what news do you have? King John takes Hubert aside. This is the man who was to do the bloody deed. He showed his warrant to a friend of mine. The image of a wicked, monstrous crime lives in his eye. That secretive look of his shows the temper of a deeply troubled heart, and I fearfully believe that what we feared he was ordered to do has been done. The king's color comes and goes between his purpose and his conscience, like messengers placed between two terrible battles. His emotion is so ripe it must break, and when it breaks, I fear what will pour out is the foul corruption of a sweet child's death. We cannot hold back mortality's strong hand. Good lords, although my willingness to grant your request is alive, the petition you make is gone and dead. Hubert tells us Arthur died tonight. Indeed, we feared his sickness was past cure. Indeed, we heard how near death he was before the child himself felt he was sick. This must be answered for, either here or in the next world. Why do you bend such solemn brows on me? Do you think I carry the shears of destiny? Do I command the pulse of life? Foul play is plain, and it is shameful that greatness should offer it so grossly. May it prosper in your game as it deserves. Farewell. Stay yet, Lord Salisbury. I will go with you and find this poor child's inheritance, his little kingdom of a forced grave. That blood which had a claim to the breadth of this whole island now holds only 3 feet of it. That world meanwhile? This must not be endured like this. This will break out to all our sorrow, and soon, I fear. The lords exit. They burn with indignation. I repent. No sure foundation is set on blood. No secure life is won by another's death. A messenger enters. You have a fearful look. Where is the blood I have seen living in those cheeks? Such a foul sky does not clear without a storm. Pour down your weather. How goes everything in France? From France to England, my lord. Never was such a force for any foreign campaign raised from within a land. They have learned to match your speed, for when you should merely be told they are preparing, the news comes that they have all arrived. Oh, where has our intelligence been drunk? whereas it slept. Where was my mother's care, that such an army could be drawn together in France, and she not hear of it? My liege, her ear is stopped with dust. Your noble mother died on the 1st of April. And as I hear, my lord, the Lady Constance died in madness 3 days before. But I heard this idly from rumour's tongue. Whether it is true or false, I do not know. Hold back your speed, dreadful crisis. Oh, make a truce with me until I have satisfied my discontented peers. What? My mother dead? Then how wildly my estate in France wanders. Under whose command did those forces of France come, which you report as truth have landed here? Under the Dauphin. You have made me dizzy with these tidings. The bastard enters with Peter of Pomfret. Now what does the world say about your proceedings? Do not try to stuff my head with more bad news, for it is full. But if you are afraid to hear the worst, then let the worst, unheard, fall on your head. Bear with me, cousin. I was stunned under the tide, but now I breathe again above the flood and can give audience to any tongue, whatever it may speak of. How I have succeeded among the clergymen, the sums I have collected will show. But as I travelled here through the land, I found the people strangely possessed by fantasies, filled with rumours, full of empty dreams, not knowing what they fear, but full of fear. And here is a prophet I brought with me from the streets of Pomfret, whom I found with many hundreds following at his heels. To them he sang in rough and harsh, sounding rhymes, that before noon on the next Ascension day your highness would give up your crown. You idle dreamer, why did you do that? Because I knew beforehand that the truth would turn out so. Hubert, take him away, imprison him. And on that day at noon, when he says I shall yield up my crown, have him hanged. Put him in secure custody in return, for I must use you. Hubert exits with Peter. Oh, my gentle cousin, have you heard the news abroad? Who has arrived? The French, my lord. Men's mouths are full of it. Besides, I met Lord Bigot and Lord Salisbury, their eyes as red as newly kindled fire, and others with them, going to seek the grave of Arthur, whom they say was killed tonight at your instigation. Gentle kinsman, go and force your way into their company. I have a way to win their love again. Bring them before me. I will seek them out. No, make haste. Put your best foot forward. Oh, let me have no enemies among my subjects when hostile foreigners terrify my towns with the dreadful display of strong invasion. Be Mercury, set feathers to your heels and fly like thought from them back to me. The spirit of the time shall teach me speed. The bastard exits. That was spoken like a lively, noble gentleman. Follow him. He may need someone to carry messages between me and the peers, and you shall be that messenger. With all my heart, my liege. The messenger exits. My mother dead. Hubert enters. My lord, they say 5 moons were seen tonight. 4 stood still, and the 5th whirled around the other 4 in a strange motion. 5 moons! Old men and old women in the streets are making dangerous prophecies about it. Young Arthur's death is on everyone's lips. When they speak of him, they shake their heads and whisper in one another's ears. The one who speaks grips the listener's wrist, while the one who hears reacts with fear, wrinkled brows, nods, and rolling eyes. I saw a smith standing with his hammer like this, while his iron cooled on the anvil, his mouth hanging open as he swallowed a tailor's news. The tailor, with his shears and measuring tape in his hand, was standing in slippers that his quick haste had shoved onto the wrong feet. He told of many thousands of warlike French troops drawn up and arranged in battle ranks in Kent. Then another thin, unwashed craftsman cut off his story and began talking about Arthur's death. Why are you trying to fill me with these fears? Why do you press young Arthur's death on me so often? Your hand murdered him. I had a powerful reason to wish him dead, but you had no reason to kill him. No reason, my lord? Why, did you not urge me to it? It is the curse of kings to be served by slaves who take their masters' moods as permission to break into the bloody house of life, and who take the mere wink of authority as law. They think they understand the meaning of dangerous majesty, when perhaps it frowns from passing temper rather than from deliberate judgment. Here's your own hand, and seal authorizing what I did. Oh, when the final reckoning between heaven and earth is made, this hand and seal will testify against us and condemn us. How often the sight of the means to do evil makes evil deeds happen. If you had not been near me, a man marked by nature's own hand, stamped and signed for a shameful deed, this murder would never have entered my mind. But when I took note of your hated face, finding you fit for bloody villainy, ready and able to be used in danger, I faintly hinted to you about Arthur's death. And you, to make yourself dear to a king, felt no scruple about destroying a prince. My lord, if you had only shaken your head or paused when I spoke darkly of what I intended, or turned a doubtful eye on my face, as if asking me to say my meaning plainly, deep shame would have struck me dumb and made me break off. Your fears might have awakened fears in me. But you understood me through my signs, and answered in signs as you bargained with sin. Yes, without stopping, you let your heart consent, and then your rough hand act out the deed that both our tongues considered too vile to name. Get out of my sight, and never see me again. My nobles leave me, and my crown is defied even at my gates by ranks of foreign powers. No, within the very body of this living land, this kingdom, this boundary of blood and breath, war and civil unrest rule between my conscience and my cousin's death. Arm yourself against your other enemies, and I will make peace between your soul and you. Young Arthur is alive. This hand of mine is still pure and innocent, not stained with crimson spots of blood. No dreadful impulse toward murder has ever entered this breast. You have slandered nature in my shape, which, however rough it may look on the outside, covers a better mind than one that could butcher an innocent child. Does Arthur live? Oh, hurry to the peers. Throw this news onto their inflamed anger, and calm them back into obedience. Forgive the judgment my passion made about your face, for my rage was blind, and the foul, imaginary eyes of blood made you look more hideous than you are. Do not answer me. Bring the angry lords to my private room with all possible speed. I command you to slowly, run faster. They exit. Arthur appears on the castle walls. The wall is high, but I will still jump down. Good ground, have pity on me and do not hurt me. Few people, perhaps no one, know who I am. If they did, this shipboy's outfit has completely disguised me. I am afraid, and yet I will risk it. If I get down and do not break my limbs, I will find 1,000 ways to escape. It is as well to die while leaving as to die by staying here. Arthur jumps down. Oh, my uncle's spirit is in these stones. Heaven take my soul, and England keep my bones. Arthur dies. Pembroke, Salisbury, and Bigot enter. My lords, I will meet him at St. Edmundsbury. It is our only safety, and we must accept this gracious offer made by these dangerous times. Who brought that letter from the cardinal? Count Melun, a noble lord of France. What he told me privately about the Dauphin's affection means much more than these written lines say openly. Then let us meet him tomorrow morning. Or rather, let us set out then, for it will be 2 long days' journey, my lords, before we meet him. The bastard enters. Once more today I am glad to meet you, troubled lords. The king through me asks for your immediate presence. The king has thrown away his claim on us. We will not line his thin, stained cloak with our clean honors, nor follow the foot that leaves a print of blood wherever it walks. Go back and tell him so. We know the worst. Whatever you think good words I think would be best. Our griefs are speaking now, not our manners. But there is little reason in your grief. So it would be reasonable for you to have manners now. Sir, impatience has its privilege. True, the privilege to hurt its master and no one else. This is the prison. Who is that lying here? They see Arthur. O death, made proud by pure and princely beauty. The earth had no hole in which to hide this deed. Murder, as if hating what it has done, lays the deed open in order to drive on revenge. Or, when he condemned this beauty to a grave, he found it too precious and too princely for a grave. Sir Richard, what do you think? Have you ever seen, read, heard, or imagined, or can you even think, though you see it, that you truly see this? Could thought, without the sight before it, create another thing like this? This is the very summit, the height, the crest, or the crest above the crest of murder's coat of arms. This is the bloodiest shame, the fiercest savagery, the vilest blow that ever while dyed wrath or staring rage presented to the tears of gentle pity. All murders of the past stand excused beside this one. And this, so single and so unequaled, will give holiness and purity to all future sins not yet born, and make deadly bloodshed seem only a joke when compared with this hideous sight. It is a damned and bloody work, the graceless action of a heavy hand, if it is the work of any hand. If it is the work of any hand? We had some light to show us what would follow. It is the shameful work of Hubert's hand, the design and purpose of the king. From obedience to him I forbid my soul. Kneeling before this ruin of sweet life, and breathing to his breathless excellence the incense of a vow, a holy vow, I swear never to taste the pleasures of the world, never to be touched by delight, never to live with ease and idleness, until I have given glory to this hand by making it perform the sacred service of revenge. Our souls solemnly confirm your words. Hubert enters. My lords, I am breathless with haste from searching for you. Arthur is alive, the king has sent for you. Oh, he is bold, and does not blush at death. Away, hateful villain, get out of here. I am no villain. Must I rob the law of its work? Salisbury draws his sword. Your sword is bright, sir. Put it away again. Not until I sheathe it in a murderer's skin. Stand back, Lord Salisbury, stand back, I say. By heaven, I think my sword is as sharp as yours. I would not have you forget yourself, my lord, nor test the danger of my rightful defense, in case I, by watching your rage, forget your worth, your greatness, and your nobility. Out, filthy coward! Do you dare defy a nobleman? Not for my life. But I do dare defend my innocent life against an emperor. You are a murderer. Do not prove me one. I am none. Whoever speaks falsely does not speak truly. Whoever does not speak truly lies. Cut him to pieces. Keep the peace, I say. Stand aside, or I will wound you, Falconbridge. You would do better to wound the devil, Salisbury. If you so much as frown at me, or move your foot, or let your hot temper insult me, I will strike you dead. Put up your sword in time, or I will batter you in that roasting iron of yours so badly that you will think the devil has come from hell. What will you do, renowned Falconbridge? Support a villain and a murderer? Lord Bigot, I am neither. Who killed this prince? It is not an hour since I left him well. I honored him, I loved him, and I will spend the rest of my life weeping for the loss of his sweet life. Do not trust those cunning waters in his eyes, for villainy is not without such tears. He has long practiced it, and makes those tears seem like rivers of remorse and innocence. Come away with me, all of you whose souls hate the foul smells of a slaughterhouse, for I am choking on the smell of sin. Away toward Barry to the Dauphin there. Tell the king there that he may search us out. The Lord's leave. Here is a fine world. Did you know of this fair piece of work? Beyond the infinite and boundless reach of mercy, if you did this deed of death, you are damned, Hubert. Only hear me, sir. Ha! I will tell you this. You are damned as black as nothing is that black. You are more deeply damned than Prince Lucifer. There is not yet any fiend in hell as ugly as you will be, if you killed this child. Upon my soul. If you merely agreed to this most cruel act, then despair. If you need a rope, the smallest thread that ever a spider spun from her body will serve to strangle you. A reed will be a beam strong enough to hang you on. Or if you want to drown yourself, put a little water in a spoon, and it will be like the whole ocean, enough to smother such a villain. I suspect you very seriously. If I am guilty in act, consent, or sinful thought of stealing that sweet breath which was enclosed in this beautiful clay, then let hell lack enough torments to torture me. I left him well. Go, carry him in your arms. I am stunned, I think, and lose my way among the thorns and dangers of this world. How easily you lift all England up! From this small piece of dead royalty, the life, the right, and the truth of this whole realm have fled to heaven, and England is now left to pull, scramble, and tear with its teeth at the unknown share of proud, swelling power. Now over the bare, picked bone of majesty, stubborn war raises its angry crest and snarls into the gentle eyes of peace. Now powers from abroad and discontents at home meet in one line, and vast confusion waits, as a raven waits over a sick, fallen beast, for the coming decay of stolen pomp. Now happy is the man whose cloak and belt can withstand this storm. Carry away that child and follow me quickly. I will go to the king. 1,000 urgent matters are pressing close at hand, and heaven itself frowns upon the land. They leave. King John enters at Northampton, in a room of the palace, with Pandulph carrying the crown, and with attendants. So I have surrendered into your hand the circle that marks my glory. Giving King John the crown. Take back from my hand, as one who holds it under the Pope, your sovereign greatness and authority. Now keep your sacred promise. Go and meet the French, and use all the power His Holiness gives you to stop their march before we are set on fire. Our discontented counties are rebelling. Our people are breaking with obedience, swearing allegiance and the devotion of their souls to foreign blood, to a foreign crown. This flood of diseased temper can be calmed only by you. Do not delay, for the present time is so sick that medicine must be given at once, or an incurable ruin will follow. It was my breath that raised the storm, because of your stubborn treatment of the Pope, but since you are now a willing convert, my tongue shall quiet the storm of war again and bring fair weather to your blustering land. On this Ascension Day, remember well, and on your oath of service to the Pope, I go to make the French lay down their weapons. Pandulph exits. Is this Ascension Day? Did the prophet not say that before noon on Ascension Day I would give up my crown? That is exactly what I have done. I thought it would be forced from me, but heaven be thanked, it was only voluntary. The bastard enters. All Kent has yielded. Nothing there holds out except Dover Castle. London, like a welcoming host, has received the Dauphin and his forces. Your nobles will not listen to you. They have gone to offer service to your enemy. Wild confusion runs up and down among the small number of friends you still have, and even they are doubtful. Would my lords not return to me after they heard young Arthur was alive? They found him dead, thrown into the streets, an empty case from which the jewel of life had been stolen and carried away by some damned hand. That villain Hubert told me he was alive. So he did, on my soul, as far as he knew. But why do you droop? Why do you look sad? Be as great in action as you have been in thought. Do not let the world see fear and dark suspicion controlling the movement of a king's eye. Be as active as the crisis demands. Meet fire with fire. Threaten the one who threatens you, and stare down the face of boasting horror. Then lesser eyes, which take their behavior from the great, will grow great by your example and put on the fearless spirit of resolution. Go and shine like the god of war when he means to take the field. Show boldness and rising confidence. What shall they hunt the lion in his den, frighten him there, and make him tremble there? Oh, let that never be said. Range out and run to meet danger farther from your doors, and grapple with it before it comes so close. Pope Slegate has been with me, and I have made a happy peace with him. He has promised to dismiss the forces led by the Dauphin. Oh, shameful agreement! Shall we stand on our own land and send polite terms, compromises, soft approaches, negotiations, and base truces to invading armies? Shall a beardless boy, a pampered silken darling, defy our fields, feed his courage on the soil of war, mock the air with colours spread for show, and meet no resistance? Let us go to arms, my liege. Perhaps the cardinal cannot make your peace, or if he can, let it at least be said that they saw we meant to defend ourselves. You shall have command of what must be done now. Then away with good courage. Still, I know our side may yet meet a prouder enemy. They exit. Lewis, Salisbury, Melun, Pembroke, Bigot, and soldiers enter armed in the French camp near St. Edmundsbury. My Lord Melun, have this cop it out, and keep it safely so we may remember it. Return the original agreement to these lords, so that, with our fair terms written down, both they and we may review these notes, know exactly why we took the oath, and keep our promises firm and unbroken. On our side, it shall never be broken. And noble Dauphin, though we swear ourselves to your cause with willing zeal and faith that no one forced from us, believe me, Prince, I am not glad that such a sickness in the time should look for a cure in despised rebellion, or try to heal the old deep rot of one wound by making many more. Oh, it grieves my soul that I must draw the sword from my side to make widows, and must do it in a place where honorable rescue and defense cry out against the name of Salisbury. But the time is so infected that, for the health and medicine of our right, we have no way to act except by the very hand of harsh injustice and confused wrong. And is it not a pity, my grieving friends, that we, the sons and children of this island, were born to see so sad an hour as this, when we follow a stranger march over our mother's gentle breast and fill the ranks of her enemies? I must turn aside and weep over this cause forced on us, that I should bring honor to the nobility of a distant land, and follow unfamiliar banners here. Here! O nation, if only you could be moved! If only Neptune's arms, which clasp you all around, would carry you away from the knowledge of yourself and fasten you to some pagan shore, where these two Christian armies might join the blood of their malice into one vein of alliance, instead of spending it so unnaturally against neighbors. You show a noble spirit in this, and the great emotions wrestling in your breast make a noble earthquake there. Oh, what a noble battle you have fought between necessity and honorable feeling! Let me wipe away this honorable dew that moves like silver down your cheeks. My heart has melted at a lady's tears, though those are a common flood. But this outpouring of such manly drops, this shower raised by the tempest of the soul, startles my eyes and amazes me more than if I had seen the high-arched roof of heaven completely covered with burning meteors. Lift up your brow, renowned Salisbury, and with a great heart throw off this storm. Leave such tears to infant eyes that have never seen the giant world enraged, or met fortune anywhere except at feasts full of warm blood, merriment, and gossip. Come, come, you shall thrust your hand as deeply into the purse of rich prosperity as Louis himself. So shall all you nobles who bind your strength to mine. And even now I think an angel has spoken. Pandulph enters. Look, the holy legate comes quickly, to give us authority from heaven's hand, and with holy breath set the name of right upon our actions. Hail, noble Prince of France! Here is what comes next. King John has reconciled himself to Rome. The spirit of his resistance has come in, the spirit that stood out so stubbornly against the Holy Church, the great mother city and seat of Rome. Therefore roll up your threatening banners now, and tame the savage spirit of wild war, so that, like a lion raised tame by hand, it may lie gently at the foot of peace and be no more harmful than it looks. Your grace must pardon me. I will not go back. I am too highly born to be treated as property, to be made a subordinate under command, or to serve as the useful tool and instrument of any sovereign power in the world. Your breath first kindled the dead coal of war between this chastised kingdom and me, and brought in the fuel that fed this fire, and now it is far too large to be blown out by the same weak wind that lit it. You taught me how to recognize the face of right, made me acquainted with my claim to this land, yes, thrust this enterprise into my heart, and now you come to tell me John has made peace with Rome. What is that peace to me? By the honor of my marriage bed, after young Arthur, I claim this land as mine, and now that it is half conquered, must I turn back because John has made his peace with Rome? Am I Rome's slave? What money has Rome spent, what men has Rome supplied, what ammunition has Rome sent, to support this action? Is it not I who bear this expense? Who but I, and those bound to my claim, sweat in this business and maintain this war? Have I not heard these islanders shout, Vive le Roi, as I have surrounded their towns? Do I not hold the best cards in the game to win this easy match played for a crown? And shall I now give up when the set is yielded? No, no, by my soul, that shall never be said. You are looking only at the outside of this matter. Outside or inside, I will not return until my attempt has been honored as fully as my great hope was promised before I raised this splendid army, and gather these fiery spirits from the world to stare conquest down and win renown even in the jaws of danger and death. A trumpet sounds. What strong trumpet is summoning us like that? The bastard enters with attendants. By the fair rules of the world, give me a hearing. I am sent to speak. My holy lord of Melun, I come from the king to learn how you have dealt for him, and by your answer I will know the limits and authority given to my tongue. The Dauphin is too stubbornly opposed, and will not adjust himself to my requests. He says plainly that he will not lay down his arms. By all the blood that fury ever breathed, the young man speaks well. Now hear our English king, for his royal authority speaks through me. He is prepared, and he has good reason to be. This foolish and unmannerly advance, this armored masquerade and reckless revel, this beardless insolence and boyish army, the king smiles at it, and is well prepared to whip this dwarf, like war, these pygmy weapons, out of the circle of his territories. That hand which had the strength, even at your own doors, to beat you down and make you take cover, to dive like buckets into hidden wells, to crouch in the litter under your stable planks, to lie like pawns locked in chests and trunks, to hug swine, to search for sweet safety in vaults and prisons, and to tremble and shake even at the crowing of a rooster from your own nation, thinking that voice was an armed Englishman. Shall that victorious hand be weakened here, the same hand that punished you in your own chambers? No. Know this, the gallant monarch is in arms, and like an eagle towers over his nest to swoop down on whatever trouble comes near it. And you degenerate, ungrateful rebels, you bloody Neros tearing open the womb of your dear mother England, blush for shame. For your own ladies and pale-faced maids come tripping after the drums like Amazons, changing their thimbles into armored gauntlets, their needles into lances, and their gentle hearts into fierce and bloody purpose. End your boasting there, and turn your face away in peace. We grant that you can outscold us. Farewell. We hold our time too precious to spend it with such a brawler. Give me permission to speak. No, I will speak. We will listen to neither of you. Strike up the drums, and let the tongue of war plead for our claim and for our presence here. Indeed, when your drums are beaten, they will cry out, and so will you when you are beaten. Only begin, and echo the noise of your drum, and close by there is another drum already tightened that will answer as loudly as yours. Sound one more, and another will, as loud as yours, rattle the ear of the sky and mock the deep-mouthed thunder. For nearby, not relying on this limping legate here, whom he has used more for show than need, stands warlike John, and on his brow sits bare-ribbed Death, whose business today is to feast on whole thousands of the French. Strike up our drums and find out what this danger is. And you shall find it, Dauphin. Have no doubt. They all exit. Battle alarms sound. King John enters with Hubert. How is the battle going for us? Oh, tell me, Hubert. Badly, I fear. How is your Majesty feeling? This fever that has troubled me so long weighs heavily on me. Oh, my heart is sick. A messenger enters. My lord, your brave kinsman, Falconbridge, asks your Majesty to leave the battlefield and send word back with me which way you are going. Tell him I am going towards Swinstead, to the abbey there. Take comfort, my lord, because the great reinforcements the Dauphin was expecting here were wrecked 3 nights ago on Goodwin Sands. This news was brought to Richard only just now. The French are fighting without spirit, and they are pulling back. Ah, this tyrant fever is burning me up, and it will not let me welcome this good news. Go on towards Swinstead. Take me straight to my litter. Weakness has taken hold of me, and I am faint. They leave. Elsewhere on the same battlefield, Salisbury, Pembroke, and Bigot enter. I did not think the king had so many friends. Up once more, put courage into the French. If they fail, we fail too. That misbegotten devil, Falconbridge, against every opposition, is holding up the day by himself. They say King John, very sick, has left the field. Melun enters, wounded and supported by soldiers. Lead me to the English rebels here. When we were honorable, we had other names. It is the Count Melun. Wounded to death. Flee, noble Englishmen, you have been cheated and betrayed. Pull yourselves back through the rough opening of rebellion, and welcome home again the loyalty you threw away. Seek out King John and fall at his feet. If the French become masters of this noisy day, Louis means to repay your service by cutting off your heads. He has sworn this, and I swore it with him, and many more with me, on the altar at St. Edmundsbury, even on that same altar where we swore dear friendship and everlasting love to you. Can this be possible? Can this be true? Do I not have hideous death in sight, keeping only a small amount of life that bleeds away like a wax figure melting before the fire? What in the world could make me deceive you now, when I must lose the use of all deception? Why should I be false, when it is true that I must die here and live afterward by truth? I say again, if Louis wins the day, he will be forsworn if those eyes of yours ever see another dawn break in the east. Before this very night is over, this black, poisonous night whose breath already smokes around the burning crest of the old weekday, wearied sun, your breathing will end. You will pay the penalty for valued treachery with a treacherous fine, all your lives, if Louis wins the day with your help. Commend me to Hubert, who is with your king. My love for him, and also this consideration, that my grandfather was an Englishman, wakes my conscience and makes me confess all this. In return, I beg you, carry me away from the noise and rumor of the battlefield, so that I may spend the remains of my thoughts in peace, and part my body from my soul with contemplation and devout desires. We believe you, and may my soul be cursed if I do not love the shape and promise of this most fair opportunity. Might we will walk back the steps of our damned flight, and like a swollen flood that has withdrawn, leaving its wild and lawless course, we will sink low again within the banks we overran, and run calmly in obedience to our ocean, to our great King John. My arm will help carry you away, for I see the cruel pains of death plainly in your eye. Away, my friends. A new flight and a happy renewal that aims at the old rite. They leave carrying Melun. In the French camp, Louis enters with his train. I thought the sun in heaven was unwilling to set, but lingered and made the western sky blush, when the English measured their own ground backward in faint retreat. Oh, we came off bravely, when after such bloody labor, we fired one unnecessary volley, said good night, and clearly wound up our tottering banners, last in the field and almost masters of it. A messenger enters. Where is my prince the Dauphin? Here. What news? The Count Melun is dead. The English lords, persuaded by him, have fallen away from you again, and the reinforcements you have wished for so long have been cast away and sunk on Goodwin Sands. Ah, vile, bitter news. Curse your very heart. I did not think I could be made as sad tonight as this has made me. Who was it that said King John fled an hour or two before stumbling night divided our weary armies? Whoever said it, it is true, my lord. Well, keep good order and good watch tonight. The day will not rise as early as I will to try the fair venture of tomorrow. They leave. In an open place near Swinstead Abbey, the bastard and Hubert enter from different directions and meet. Who is there? Speak, ho! Speak quickly, or I shoot. A friend. What are you? On England's side. Where are you going? What is that to you? Why may I not ask about your business as well as you ask about mine? Hubert, I think. You think correctly. At any risk, I will believe you are my friend, since you know my voice so well. Who are you? Whoever you wish. And if it pleases you, you may do me the kindness of thinking I come in some way from the Plantagenets. Unkind memory. You and blind knight have shamed me. Brave soldier, pardon me, that any sound from your tongue could escape the true recognition of my ear. Come, come, no compliments. What news is abroad? Why, I am walking here under the black brow of night to find you. Briefly, then. What is the news? Oh, my sweet sir, news fit for the night, black, fearful, comfortless, and horrible. Show me the very wound of this evil news. I am no woman, I will not faint at it. The king, I fear, has been poisoned by a monk. I left him almost speechless, and came out to tell you this evil, so you might prepare yourself better for this sudden crisis than if you had learned of it at leisure. How did he take it? Who tasted it before him? A monk, I tell you, a determined villain whose bowels suddenly burst out. The king still speaks and perhaps may recover. Who did you leave to attend his majesty? Why, do you not know? The lords have all come back, and they brought Prince Henry with them. At his request the king has pardoned them, and they are all around his majesty. Hold back your anger, mighty heaven, and do not tempt us to bear more than we have strength for. I will tell you, Hubert, half my force tonight, while crossing these flats, was taken by the tide. These Lincoln washes have devoured them. I myself, well mounted, barely escaped. Go ahead. Lead me to the king. I fear he will be dead before I arrive. They leave. Prince Henry, Salisbury, and Bigot enter the orchard of Swinstead Abbey. It is too late. The life in all his blood has been corrupted, and his clear mind, which some people think is the soul's fragile dwelling place, now predicts the end of his mortal life through the confused thoughts it makes. Pembroke enters. His Highness is still speaking, and believes that if he is brought out into the open air, it will ease the burning force of the deadly poison attacking him. Have him brought here into the orchard. Is he still in a rage? Bigot exits. He is calmer than when you left him. Just now he was singing. Oh, the emptiness of sickness. Violent extremes, if they last long enough, stop feeling their own violence. Death, after feeding on the outward parts of him, leaves them without feeling, and now lays siege to the mind. It stabs and wounds the mind with armies of strange imaginings, which, as they crowd and press toward that last stronghold, confuse and destroy one another. It is strange that death should sing. I am the young swan beside this pale, faint old swan, who sings a mournful hymn for his own death, and from the weak pipe of his failing body sings his soul and body into their lasting rest. Take comfort, Prince. You were born to give shape and order to the confused state he has left so formless and rough. Bigot and attendants enter, bringing King John in a chair. Yes, by Mary, now my soul has room to move. It could not get out through windows or doors. There is such a hot summer in my chest that all my insides crumble into dust. I am like a written figure drawn with a pen on parchment, and in this fire I shrivel up. How is your majesty? Poisoned badly, dead, abandoned, cast away. Not one of you will call winter here to push its icy fingers into my stomach, or let the rivers of my kingdom run through my burned chest, or beg the north wind to let its bleak gusts kiss my parched lips and comfort me with cold. I do not ask much. I beg only cold comfort, and you are so narrow-hearted and so ungrateful that you deny me even that. Oh, if only there were some power in my tears that could relieve you. The salt in them is hot. There is a hell inside me, and there the poison is trapped like a fiend, to tyrannize over condemned blood that cannot be reprieved. The bastard enters. Oh, I am scalded by my violent movement, and the hot haste that drove me to see your majesty. Oh, cousin, you have come to close my eyes. The rigging of my heart is cracked and burned, and all the ropes by which my life should sail have become one thread, one little hair. My heart has only one poor string holding it up, and it will hold only until your news is spoken. Then all this you see will be nothing but a clod, a broken lump of ruined royalty. The Dauphin is preparing to come this way, and God only knows how we shall answer him. During the night, as I moved the best part of my forces to a better position, they were all unknowingly swallowed in the washes by an unexpected flood. The king dies. You breathe this dead news into a dead ear. My liege. My lord. A moment ago a king, and now this. So I too must run on, and so I too must stop. What certainty is there in the world? What hope, what support, when this man was just now a king, and now is clay? Are you gone like this? I stay behind only to perform the duty of revenge for you, and then my soul will follow you to heaven, as it has always been your servant on earth. Now, you stars that move in your proper courses, where are your powers? Show your restored faith now, and come back with me at once, to drive destruction and endless shame out through the weak door of our fainting land. Let us seek the enemy immediately, or immediately we shall be sought. The Dauphin is raging right at our heels. It seems, then, that you do not know as much as we do. The Cardinal Pandulph is inside, resting. Half an hour ago he came from the Dauphin, and he brings such offers of peace from him as we may accept with honor and respect, with the intention of leaving this war at once. He will be more likely to do it when he sees that we ourselves are strongly prepared for defense. No, it is almost already done. He has sent many wagons to the seaside, and has placed his cause and quarrel in the hands of the Cardinal. With him you, I, and the other lords, if you think it proper, will ride this afternoon to bring this business happily to completion. Let it be so. And you, my noble prince, with the other princes who can best be spared, shall attend your father's funeral. His body must be buried at Worcester, for that was his will. Then there it shall go, and may your gracious self happily take on the rightful rank and glory of the land. To you, with all submission, on my knee, I give my faithful service and true obedience forever. And we make the same offer of our love to remain unstained forevermore. I have a grateful soul that wants to thank you, and knows no way to do it except with tears. Oh, let us give this time only the necessary sorrow, since it has already had more than enough of our griefs. This England never did, and never shall, lie at the proud foot of a conqueror, unless it first helps to wound itself. Now that her princes have come home again, let the three corners of the world come armed against us, and we shall meet them in battle. Nothing will make us regret if England remains true to itself. They exit.
And there King John ends not in glory, but in a slow, sweating death in an orchard, the king raving and shrivelling as the poison burns through him, with his crusading enemies broken on the Goodwin sands and his lost lords come home too late. His son, the boy Prince Henry, is raised up as Henry III over a kingdom that has very nearly torn itself apart. And the bastard, the one clear, brave voice in all this scheming, speaks the play's defiant last word that England never lay at a conqueror's feet, and never shall, unless it first wound itself, that if England to itself be true, nothing in the world can make her rue. It is a sour, modern, clear-eyed history, all politics and self-interest, with one boy's murder at its heart and one honest man at its edge. Thank you for sitting with the whole of King John. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly.